Okay, so let's start with, okay, let me just write this down. So we're starting with the first one, direction versus scale or size. So let's start with the law of demand. The law of demand, in very simple terms, all it tells us is that if price goes up, what that will do is that quantity demanded of the good will go down. And if price goes down, quantity demanded will go up. That's really the entirety of law of demand. Okay, and you guys have learned this already. So now let me draw a diagram. So we have a quantity here, price here. Suppose I draw this demand curve, and what I'm going to do is take this point. Okay, so this is P naught, this is Q naught. So basically what that means is that when the price level in the economy of this good is P naught, the quantity demanded is Q naught. And according to the law of demand, if price level were to change, so suppose price level went up to P1, what we are going to expect, it's given right here, if price level went up, QD will go down, and that is what we observe here. Q naught falls to Q1. And of course, the reverse is also true. If price level were to fall, quantity demanded will go up. So you all understand this, but there is another added dimension to this relationship. Now, the law of demand only talks about the direction, and that relationship is that P and QD always moves in opposite direction. When P is going up, QD is going down. When P is going down, QD is going up. Similarly, the law of supply also talks only about the direction. And in that case, P and QS moves in the same direction. When price goes up, quantity supply goes up. When price goes down, quantity supply goes down. Okay, so these are just the directions. We already know about them. What we want to learn now is the size of the relationship. And if that is confusing, let me draw two diagrams. Here's one, here's two. And so same thing, we have Q, we have P, we have Q, we have P, and I'm going to draw two diagrams, two demand curves. So this is one demand curve, this is one demand curve. Okay, now suppose, okay, let me just write this down. So suppose this is the market for medicine. Okay, some medicine, we don't know what medicine. And suppose this is the market for Coke. Well, if we have some big fans of Pepsi, I apologize, but I'm going to go with Coke. Okay, and suppose the price level of both of these are the same. Okay, so let's come here. Okay, so suppose we have 70 taka, for example, and at 70 taka, in 1 year, suppose you buy 52 strips of this medicine. So every single week, you buy one strip of this medicine because of whatever sickness you have. And similarly, every single week at price level 70, you also buy 52 bottles of Coke. Okay, that's pretty simple to understand up to here. But now suppose price level goes up. It's a rise in price level. And so suppose now the price is 80. So notice this, the situation where we are. Initially, both goods have the same price level of 70, and we're buying the same number of the same level of each of them, which is 52 in a year or one every week. And then both these goods experience the same rise in price, which is a rise of 10 taka. But because of this rise, look what happens. For medicine, let me magnify this a little bit. For medicine, there is a fall in price, of course, but this is a relatively small fall in price. So this was 52. Now we are here. So how much can that be? Maybe that's 48. So that's what's happened. Okay, so the question is, why didn't quantity fall by more? And that's because this is medicine. You can't just decide not to have your medicine. Now, suppose because of the rise in price, you've decided that, all right, so once in a while, when I'm not feeling very sick, maybe I won't buy the medicine for that week, but for most of the time, I will have to buy the medicine, because if I don't, I may get even sicker. So you continue to buy the medicine. But what happens here for Coke? Same price level, same price rise, but look what's happened here. A much larger fall. So this is probably something like 25. So what has happened here? Both medicine, whatever medicine it might be, both medicine and Coke had the same price level of 72. They both had the same quantity demanded of 52, and they both experienced the same price increase of by 10 taka. But for one of them, the quantity demanded fell by a much smaller level than the other. And so that is what I mean when I talk about the size of a relationship. So we know about the direction. Both medicine and Coke satisfies the law of demand. The direction of the relationship is maintained. When P went up, QD went down. But then when we look at the size of this relationship, we realize that the strength of the relationship for medicine is much weaker. A change in price will not lead to a similarly large change in price, a large change in quantity demanded. However, for Coke, the relationship is much stronger. If there is a change in price, there is going to be a large change in quantity demanded. So this is a relatively weak relationship. This is a relatively strong relationship. Okay, and that is basically what I wanted to talk to you guys about direction and the scale. So this is just for you to for you guys to realize that direction is not all that matters. Okay, so now that we've done this, we are going to move on to the next topic, which is the concept of responsiveness and elasticity.